everyone, Raven here, and today's topic is 3 avoidable savings mistakes and their solutions. So we have a blog on this topic, which you might be in at the moment if you're seeing this video, and you can check out the blog if you haven't seen it yet. Go to our website, www.moneymind.global, and click on blog. If you want to try our free samplers or paid pillars, you can click on all courses, and it will have the full list there. So those 3 avoidable money mistakes that we can make with our savings are no emergency fund, not expense tracking, and not investing. These can cost us thousands each. These can cost us tens of thousands if we don't plug the leaks over years, okay? So it's really important to know that savings is not just putting money into an account and leaving it there. Because if we just have money sitting there, the rat of depreciation will come and nibble, 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 nibble until it is mostly gone. So what we want to do is we want to have strategies in place, and at the very least, plug the gaps in our current habits and strategy of what we're doing for our savings. So what we want to do is make sure we have an emergency fund. We are expense tracking. And we are investing. Now, none of this is advice, it's opinions only based on my own journey and experiences going through financial avoidance and then financial insecurity. And even though I had money, I didn't know how to manage it. And I felt like personal finance was just very complicated and that I couldn't get really good answers on it. So I created a basic 5-pillar framework that is a foundational guideline that I could use to check my basic foundations in money stability. Those are money mindsets, savings, budgeting, investing, wills, and legacy. You can use this right now. Check yourself against it. Are you comfortable and confident with your money mindsets? Are they getting the results you want? With your savings, are you getting the results you want? With your budgeting, are you getting the results you want? Investing, and wills and legacy. So, that is a checklist that you can use anytime to just see where you're at, and also use to gauge what steps you want to take next. So you might be really strong in 1 or 2 areas, but weak in some of the others. You could try the free samplers in the areas that you're weak, or you could try the areas that you are strong first, and then move into the areas that you're weaker after you get used to the style. So that is another way to do it, instead of just diving into the one that you're not as confident in, because that can be a little bit freaky for our brain. So those 3 avoidable savings mistakes of no emergency fund, not expense tracking, and not investing. Why these are so expensive for us is because if we have no emergency fund, we can fall into debt or end up having to dig into our investment money if we have no savings cash available. We need 3 to 6 months emergency fund in cash, liquid, accessible by both parties in a relationship within 24 hours. And those will be 3 to 6 months of our necessity expenses, which we will know the amounts for by expense tracking. So we want to be expense tracking. And if we've avoided budgeting or never done expense tracking before, you just start by tracking today. That's it. You can just ignore the rest. Expense track for today, tally the total. Expense track for tomorrow, tally the total and the 2 days total. And just keep going like that for a week, then a month, maybe then 3 months, and make the goal to just do it today. Just expense track today. You don't have to pay any attention to it other than that. I use an app called iExpenseIt, but at the end of the week or at the end of the month, have a quick look at the totals and see how you feel about them. Because if you've never expense tracked before, you might be surprised at some of the totals in those areas. You might be surprised that, oh my gosh, I spent a lot on transport, coffee, delivery this week that I didn't realize. $100 here, $100 there, $20 here, $20 there. It can add up. So expense tracking, we can start doing that, and we don't need to attach any emotion to it. We don't need to think, oh my gosh, I have to fit into a budget, I have to do anything. Just start expense tracking. That's it. That's the only goal. Not investing. If we're not investing, this is a really big money loser, because the rat of depreciation is going to be eating our money. And so if we're not investing, we don't have that extra part on top that is helping that money grow or at least try and combat. So we've got money that we have in savings cash that we need to have there for security and safety, and to then be able to allocate into investing. But we want to be siphoning our savings eventually into investing while still keeping cash savings available. So we want emergency fund, cash savings, and investing. So we always want to have like wads of cash that are available and our investing growing as well. So this we cover more in the full 5 pillars, and there's a full framework and plan that's easy to plug and play for anyone for the easiest results with the minimum effort. But if we're not investing, then we want to go to the bank, check out our risk profiling questionnaire, which is for free, and then ask them, hey, what model portfolio do you think would suit me? And they might say, oh, well, you, with your risk profiling questionnaire tolerance level, would be a 70% stocks, 30% bonds, or 50% stocks, 50% bonds. And then we'll get an idea of what type of investor we may be if we choose to invest in that way. So that is for us to see our comfort level and to increase our self-awareness so that we can become more comfortable and confident with our investing personality and with our choices in those areas. Now, if we're going to be investing, it's easy to want to avoid it by just handing it over to someone else. And that is one of the best ways to make sure your money goes away. If you avoid your money, it's the best way to possibly risk losing your money or definitely lose your money. So make sure that you respect your money and treat it like you want it to be there working for you, and you're grateful for the opportunities that it buys in your life, because you doing good with your money, looking after yourself, your health, your family, your life is a good thing, right? That's what money is for. So investing is really important to be able to help us create our financial future and guide us on a path to have the life that we want, that we may want to have in future, but unless we're building it, it's not going to magically appear. Like me eating pizza every day, okay, I don't eat pizza every day, but like me eating pizza every day is not going to get me six-pack. It's just, it sounds ridiculous when I say that, but if we're not building our financial future, it's a bit ridiculous that we think we're going to have that type of lifestyle or retirement or wealth if we're not building it now, because now is the time that it will grow into that. It's like not planting seeds and then expecting to have a really bountiful garden. It's something that we need to be actively doing and have growing for us. And once we planted the seeds, then we just need to leave them, kind of tend to them a little bit, and then they can grow. But we need to do the planting, and we need to do it now. So if you're not investing, consider how you may want to take steps forward in that area. If you're not expense tracking, maybe start expense tracking now. And if you don't have an emergency fund, start saving 3 to 6 months of necessity expenses to cover your basics and make sure that you're prepared in any eventuality, so you don't have to go into debt or dig into your investments. So that is the topic of 3 avoidable savings mistakes that you can totally just avoid making and be so much better off for. So please, if you notice that you've got any of these situations going on, just quickly plug the gaps and you'll be much better off for it. Once again, this is not advice, just my opinions based on my own journey, and you can see more of my opinions and my journey as I used in my financial life to create a much healthier and more stable financial foundation over at www.moneymind.global. Try our free samplers to get a bit more insight into your money mind and your money habits and see where you might want to clean up, or do a full cleanup with the 5 pillars of money mindsets, savings, budgeting, investing, wills, and legacy. Apply each pillar for 1 week intensely, and within 5 weeks, you'll have a very different money life. Try it and see. Thanks for joining. See you next time.